I'm giving myself 365 days to design my dream life. If you had the opportunity to live your life exactly how you wanted to, would you do it? What would it consist of? How would it look? What would you do to get there? Where would you live? What would you do for a living? What hobbies would you explore? Who would you live this life with? Those are just some of the questions I asked myself as I entered my 32nd year of life back in February. Like, I'm not unhappy with my life by any means, but I also know I'm not as happy as I can be. What do I need to do to change that? I know I want to make music forever, and I love to entertain, but I also want to see and experience the world on a company's dime, like these brand and travel influencers do, among so many other things. How do I take action? What needs to change? What am I even supposed to do? My name is Jay Chalet, and I'm spending the next 365 days designing my dream life. And I have almost no idea what I'm doing. So April 15th, yesterday, is my official start date. Okay, official start date for 365 days of designing my dream life. As y'all can tell, I got my Google Calendar up here. I'm time blocking all the things. That's something that's going to be super important for me because I realized, with my corporate background, even though there's obviously other people to hold you accountable, being able to actually look at a calendar of things that I have to do and taking a little bit of extra time and assigning time to them versus just having, because I also have like a to-do list, and trying to shuffle those things around and maybe, spending a little bit of extra time on my phone after lunch or taking a call and then being like, okay, well now, how many other things do I have to do? How much time do I have left? It's kind of hard to gauge that. So time blocking the day is really helping. So I'm currently in my breakdown of my 365 days. So we are currently on day 2. It is April 16th. And yeah, from what y'all saw, Love Finals weekend was insane. So much fun. Atlanta unfortunately did not win, but that's okay because it was a great first season, so technically we're all winners. Just kidding. If you're not first, you're last. I'm a competitor. It's just how it goes. But a super, super, super solid first season. And I'm just so thankful, once again to Love and Van Wagner for having me be a part of that. So super grateful for that. My fiance releases her leading single from her album on Friday that I produced. So let me get a chair because I feel like I'm just, first of all, let's get into... First of all, y'all see, this is a small hoodie, okay? Let's have a quick transparency moment. I have several small hoodies in my closet upstairs. Hoodies, sweaters, all types of stuff. But insecurity has led me to be like, okay, let me clarify again. I love oversized clothes, but insecurity has made me be like, well, let me wait till my body is perfect to put on some outfits or items that I've been wanting to wear because I may not want a little back fat to show or a little muffy. You know what I'm saying? But this morning I woke up and I was like, part of this journey is embracing where I'm at the time. And I do want to clarify, I don't think I'm ugly. You know what I'm saying? Your girl cute. You know what I'm saying? With the oversized pants on. Your girl cute. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's just a particular way that I've wanted my body to look, and having stopped training for a sport and having to like adjust over years time, just being like a non-competing athlete, but still figuring out ways to get your proper nutrition and working out in has been a very difficult journey. I don't think people talk about it enough. That's a whole nother thing. But that has kind of led me to be a bit more insecure and not as confident in clothes. Outside of the fact that when I was younger, love my parents, love y'all down. They would dress me and my younger brother alike, and I was not allowed to wear tight clothing and all type of stuff. So I never really had a chance to really figure out what my style is. And so combining that as I'm getting older and trying to figure out what I like and how I want to dress with, okay, now my body is no longer in prime time basketball athlete shape, and so I don't know. It's just been like a whirlwind of things. That's actually what my next therapy session is going to be with, or be about with my therapist. So excited about that. So I just wanted to show y'all the fit real quick. So I took my shoes off, but this is the 85 South hoodie. Shout out to the good people at 85 South, Carlos, Chico, DC. Cool, you know what I'm saying? Love this. These pants are from, I want to say Fashion Nova. Super cute. But, all right, let's get into my pillars. Okay, so boom, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pillars. They're broken down into the following: content creation, fitness, personal development, lifestyle, DJing, producing, sports work, travel, streaming, family and relationships in one, and financial. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, and it is in the best way, because I do like to push myself, but a lot of these things overlap. So for example, for content creation, something that I've noticed as someone who's created content for a very long time before it was even coined a phrase, is what I used to do is really, as I'm feeling something, I'm recording it. I'm recording it and I'm posting. Those of you that have supported me for a while, y'all remember probably a whole bunch of just random silly videos on my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at the time, because TikTok wasn't there. And that's because I did what I felt in that moment. You know what I mean? And I kind of want to get back to that. So there's been some videos that y'all have seen, like even my little character Jaquez, which he is coming back. Jaquez is coming back. Was just kind of built out of feeling something sporadically in the moment and being like, you know what, I'm going to do it. And, you know, that's not scripting. That's not overthinking or being like, oh, are people going to think this is stupid? All types of stuff. It's who I am. And that is the essence of, I remember that was when I enjoyed creating content the most, when I was just being, you know, silly. Also at that time, there was no algorithm, so your stuff was shown to everybody that's following you, but that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, so I want to do 2 day in the life YouTube videos a month, highlighting the growth and gigs and life that's been happening. So something like this, I'm going to be doing at least 2 vlogs a month. Assuming I can get all of the stuff that I'm getting ready to mention to y'all in like some sort of schedule. I would love to do 1 like video a week, even if I didn't have any gigs that week, and it's just like a catch up on just life and where I am mentally, because this is also serving as like a digital diary of sorts. 4 themed DJ mini mixes a month. Kind of like how I did my Women's Month post last month. That went really, really well, which equals just at least one mini mix a week, which is totally doable, especially if I'm batching content or, you know, for me, my cycles, my time of the month tend to be a little much. And so I've learned that it's hard for me to like schedule out like a couple weeks at a time. Like the amount of times I've tried to create a content calendar, even for just a month, oh my gosh, not it. Because as soon as that day hits, unless I have a gig, I am not doing a damn thing. I am in the bed, and then because I should probably not be rotting, and I have a dog, and I don't want ASEAN to have sole responsibility over my dog first and now our adopted family, you know? I'm like, let me be some sort of contribution to society and at least come downstairs. But she's, you know, she's great on those things. But so instead of saying like making it so strict for myself, like, hey, every Monday I'm posting this, every Wednesday, or, you know, it can vary throughout the week. And I want my channel, my social media channels to feel as organic and representative of all the things that I do as possible. So some weeks, some random stuff might happen, and I don't want to be like taking it back to the first part, whereas doing it when I feel it or as close to when I feel it as possible. Like, hey, well, this wasn't on the calendar, so I guess I can't record this, even though this is a really cool thing. You know what I mean? So instead of giving myself specific days, I'm giving myself a certain amount for this part monthly, at least. So 4 mini mixes, which is 1 a week, which is, I don't think a lot at all, or like overwhelming. 2 DJ YouTube videos a month, which is also equal to 2 SoundCloud mixes a month. So for those of you that have been following me for a while, like the Mondays, or, you know, recently I've been doing like 90s, you know, whatever women. I'm also going to be incorporating a lot more newer music also. That's kind of how my Mondays started, where I would like sprinkle in old and new. And, you know, something that I've kind of heard through the grapevine a little bit is that I guess all I know how to do is play old school music, which is not the case at all. That's just music that I enjoy the most from a production standpoint, from a context standpoint, but there is a lot of dope music out that I'm going to do a better job of continuing to highlight. So yeah, that'll be back in the Mondays where it'll be like old and new. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Going back to kind of what I was talking about earlier, I want to do at least 1 to 2 outfit posts a month. So that way I can also see like over time where my style is developing, but also making sure that I'm being intentional about figuring out how I want to dress. So I think that outside of, hoping to work with some of my favorite brands is also allowing for me to, play the long game in, okay, these are pieces that I might have liked a year ago or 2 years ago. These are pieces I've been holding on to for 5 years and I never liked. Like, what am I doing? 1 to 2 DJ tips a month, 2 gym minis a month. And then I wrote here 2 day in the life minis a month focusing on brands I want to work with. I think I need to flesh that one out a little bit more. But that is my content creation one. Now moving on to fitness is my second pillar. Instead of saying I want to lose X amount of pounds, because fat and muscle weigh 2 different amounts. Visibly noticeable toned arms, legs, stomach, and back, as those are my current most insecure areas. So I could say I want to lose 10 pounds, but I might only lose 5 and gain 5 pounds of muscle. My body's going to look different, but the scale isn't going to say something different, if that makes sense. So I'm working out 4 to 5 times a week. Right now, the splits that Aziana and I have are back, chest, shoulder, bicep, tricep, leg, and glute. So that's already 5 days. We tend to do like upper body, lower body rest, upper body, lower body rest. So depending on how that works in a week, will be about 4 to 5 workouts. Obviously daily walking with Kyle, and then just in general, like today, later on today, even though today's an off day, I'm going to go bike at the gym. So this one I'm still figuring out currently is to get shots up at least once a week so I can still, like once a shooter, always a shooter, But my good friend Jada, she is a coach at a high school, and I trained with her until I hurt my foot. So I think I'm going to hit her up again and be like, hey, can we at least get in the gym once a week? Because I feel like, first of all, my back is nice, but my back was literally the sexiest when I was shooting a fuck ton of basketball. Okay. And then daily stretching for increased flexibility and limiting injury. That one's super important to me because I did not take stretching seriously enough when I was a child. Or even while playing basketball, like I did the minimum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm just stiff. Oh, I'm just, and as I get older and like start to have minimal injuries, they're going to take longer to heal. So this is more so for making sure that I continue to have a good and high quality of life from a mobility standpoint. One day I want to be able to do the splits or like have my legs and like lay flat down. I'm good. I'm close. Not there. You know what I'm saying? But as someone who injured themselves a lot playing basketball, I don't need to injure myself as a 30-year-old. You know what I mean? The next one is personal development. I want to read 12 books about self-help and money management. I've had an interesting relationship with finances in my life only because my mom is so good at budgeting, and with my parents both having steady jobs, literally just about my entire life, after we went through our not so financially stable part early on in my life, credit cards are bad, loans, depending, are bad, and all these types of things. So I've never really took the time to learn more about it because I just took my parents' word for it, but that was just coming from what they had experienced. And once again, not in a bad way. Obviously, they do have credit cards and whatever. I don't know the details of all their stuff, but even from like an investment standpoint and things like that, I'm excited to share that I just now, I know, we all learn at our own pace, opened my first high yield savings account a couple months ago. And so that's been cool, being able to intentionally put money into and watch it kind of grow and stuff like that. But these are not things that I necessarily prioritized or really learned much about, So that's why the money management thing to me is super important, because as I make money, continue to make money, I want to make sure I can keep the money and let my money make money in its sleep. You know what I'm saying? Another thing for personal development is working on creating a new pitch in any of the spaces that I'm interested in. So for those of you that follow me, I have a show called Bridge the Gap, which puts an emphasis on women in women's sports, where, you know, a lot of times the more popular athletes in those sports are highlighted, which is cool. Love it. Perfect. We'll be doing that also, but also placing an emphasis on those, you know, not so notable heroes, but are heroes in their own way, you know? So I would love to pitch that to a network. Like Whoopi Goldberg has a network called the All Women's Sports Network. And so building the show to a point where I can then pitch it like, hey, this is how long the show's been going. These are the athletes I've had, this is the engagement, these are the numbers, you know, so, but working on doing that. I really want to tour with an artist as a DJ. That is something that has been so high on my list for forever, you know, while I've been building my brand and doing my own thing. Like, I know I can hold my own, which is, you know, why I've had my own tours as a DJ, but it would just be so awesome to tour, not just with any artist, you know what I'm saying? Because once again, I feel like I've worked really hard to get myself to a point. Rihanna, call me. Whether that is in support, so being their DJ on that tour, or being a supporting act on the tour as well. You know, a lot of times DJs, I've noticed, might get caught up in the, or people be like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so's DJ, that's so-and-so's DJ, versus no, like we all still are our own brand, our own entity, our own situation, where I feel like that's something additional that I do have to offer to a major artist, or an artist that I believe in, because I add value, if that makes sense. So something else that I put is investing in clothes that I'm proud of. Moving on to lifestyle, restructuring my brain and how I see and intake food. We'll get into that in another video after I meet with my therapist at the end of the month. Because I just have a bad relationship with food. I don't even want to say that. I don't have the relationship with food that I want. Like, I let Azian tell you, I will stuff my face one day and then feel bad about it, not want to eat the next day, or just eat up a whole bunch of bullshit, or it's just bad. Like I said, we're going to get into that detail another time, once I have a little bit more understanding. So hopefully I can, you know, help some of y'all with that too. But identify a good daily routine that I can continue when not home, which takes me back to what I said earlier in the video, which is why I was like, I feel like I got ahead of myself trying to start this while on the road, because I haven't even been able to develop a good routine that I feel like fits me while home, and I'm just trying to start all this while on the road, not working. And at least 2 self-care days monthly. That does not include nails. So facials, massage, rolfing, things like that. I really used to prioritize that, and I kind of stopped, and I'm getting back to that. DJing. Some of these things I can't say. They're already like right there or in process of being right there, that I'd rather share it once it's complete, if that makes sense. Things that I will share that are on my DJ goals list is to DJ at major festivals like Coachella and Rolling Loud, like I mentioned earlier, touring with a major artist. I started this live show called Where Were You that I did one show for, and then literally was so overwhelmed I didn't do anything else again. So starting that back up and getting that in a really cool place here in Atlanta. Adding at least 5 new corporate clients to my resume, revamping my DJ press kit again, and revamping my website again, because that is a never-ending process. Producing wise, being actively in the studio with dedicated and talented artists. Obviously, the ideal thing is to get Glorilla, Megan, all the girlies, all the duties, you know what I'm saying? Which I will, but I, think that it'll be important for me to also build up an artist who's already doing things, like already has momentum, already has things going, So that I want to release at least 1 single in the next 365 days, kind of like on a DJ Khaled type situation. Release at least 1 EP, once again, same like a DJ Khaled type situation. Have a number 1 Billboard charting song. Get a plaque, preferably platinum, but I'll take gold. I'll take some shit that's selling. You know what I'm saying? Develop list of artists, managers, and A&Rs to send weekly production to. Create something every day, even if that's just going through old beats and like listening back, because I was doing that yesterday, and I was listening to some beats from 2021, and I'm like, okay, while I don't like this element, this percussive element is fire, so maybe I can make something new with it, but just creating something every day. Identifying my sound and strengths. Place a song I also wrote on
We won't get into that one in another video. Have at least 5 TV or sync placements, and create new soundtracks for sports teams. Sports work. I really want to become the official DJ and or MC for an NBA team. Now, the NBA season is currently coming to a close. They just had, I think, game 1 or so of the play-in tournament. So definitely have some time, couple months to kind of keep working and do the things I need to do to get there. So that is one, doing more PA work. This one I can't say yet, so I'm not, become an influencer for the WNBA, NBA, or any major sport, and get contracted to create content with and for them. Bridge the gap across sports and post consistently. All-Star Weekend gigs for both the NBA and WNBA. Attend the Super Bowl to work, whether that's to DJ, host, MC, brand work out there. That's what I want to do. So I have technically a little less than a year because that's in February of next year. Do more work with Van Wagner, who's the company that's currently working with Love, because they have the Super Bowl, Final Four, Olympics, all types of stuff. So I want to do more work with them. There's a couple production companies I've worked with, but I want to add 2 more production companies for more opportunities. Travel. Leisurely travel at least once a month, domestically or internationally. Book at least 3 brand deals with travel brands or for travel content. Delta is my number one. Delta is my number one, and within the next 365 days, I will do paid work with Delta. Whether that is creating content on their planes, putting a little DJ mix together, whatever. DJ, I will work. That is literally number one. Delta is... Okay. Hotels, Airbnbs, luggage companies, things like that. Because, I know I do travel a lot for my gigs. I clearly also enjoy leisurely traveling. So being able to have certain things paid for, taken care of, or provided, would be really awesome. And then maintain my platinum medallion status with Delta, because once again, Delta girly, and work towards diamond. So that would require for me to take a lot more travel. So technically, I'm off to a good start because I just came back from Louisville and all of that was work travel. I did have one leisure day that I happened not to film. That's okay. But going to Birmingham in about 2 weeks because my friend, he plays for the UFL team in Birmingham. And so Aziana and I are going to go and kind of going to make like a day and go check out some eateries and some cool stuff in the city that we haven't done. So that'll count. Streaming. Have at least 1 weekly DJ or music stream. So I'm starting that this week. I'm trying my first TikTok stream this Friday on the 18th. Have at least 3 weekly Call of Duty streams, assuming I'm in town. And then book to at least 10 sponsored streams. Now that I'm looking at this, I think I'm going to try to adjust, instead of weekly, changing it to monthly. So if it's a 30-day month, doing like at least 10 gaming streams a month, or 10 or 12 gaming streams a month. That way, if I'm home on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. But what if I'm gone all next week like I was with Louisville? I was gone for a whole week. Then I would feel like I failed at my 3 weekly COD streams because, you know what I'm saying? So I think I'm going to adjust that, actually. Next is family and relationships. I want to see my parents at least once a month. Azian is literally the best cook in the entire world. And I don't want her to feel like the only time we're going to eat cooked meals is when she cooks, because obviously I cooked before we got together. But literally, when I tell you her food is just so good, I'm like, my food is cool, but your food is like bomb. You know what I'm saying? So cook for Aziana and I at least once a week, so that way she doesn't feel like that cooking is all on her. Even have a date night at least once a week, even if it is staying in and watching a movie. Exchange daily gratitude with Azian. So what we're grateful for that day or that we have coming up. Reverse Kyle's bladder stones and take him to more parks. So Kyle, he just had his 12th birthday, and middle of last year he was diagnosed with Cushing's disease, which is irreversible, just manageable, and he had bladder stones. So within the next year I would like to make sure that he has no more bladder stones. And although we walk often around the neighborhood, I feel like being intentional about taking more time to take him to parks. Because the thing is, I take him to parks every now and then, but that's only because he doesn't like other dogs. Let me not say that. He doesn't not like other dogs. He just prefers human beings. So the many times that I've tried to take him to a dog park, he'll just be like, I don't want to be here, you know? So we took him to the park for his birthday, regular park, and he was sprinting around. So want to incorporate more of that. And then my brother, who's now on the way opposite side of the states, I want to see him at least once every 3 months because he's up there by himself. So financial, not going to share all the details on that because y'all don't need to know my money situation like that, you know what I'm saying? But a consistent, generate a certain amount each month, make a certain contribution to my high yield savings account, and make a certain contribution to the S&P 500. So yeah. But yeah, so it's April 16th. Like I said, day 2. We are off to a great start so far. And I'm just excited to see which areas, if not all of them, that would be great, truly progress and I'm able to check off the list over the next 365 days, because I feel like a lot of times we just get caught up in, oh, I'll do it next week, or I can. Time be flying by. We're in 2025. 2025, we were supposed to have flying cars by now. You know what I mean? So yeah, this one was a bit of a longer vlog, just so I can go over all these things. So if you watched it now, thank you. I appreciate that. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all the good things. Share some things that you are working on for yourself. Doesn't have to be for the next 365 days. It could be for the next week, 2 weeks. It could be for the next 3 months. Summer bodies. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. Drop that in the comments for me. I appreciate y'all being here. Seriously. I'm almost to my next sliver of my time blocking. So I'm gonna catch y'all in the next vlog. Go be great. Be all the things you want to be. Okay? You can do it. It's not easy, or else everybody would be doing it, but you got this. Okay? If I'm trying to do and doing and all the damn things, and gosh darn it, so can you. Okay? Okay. See you.